For much of the spring, I whined and complained. It's too cold. When is the rain going to stop? Well, you get what you ask for. Sun and heat now through October. We have a large tree in the backyard that we had trimmed this year. In the wind and the rain, its dead limbs were falling on the fence that runs between our yard and the neighbors behind us. So it had to be done. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the robust shade these days. That sun is intense. My house was infiltrated by screaming kids this Sunday afternoon while I was trying to get some work done. It was too warm for the kids to play outside, so like you do, we invited the neighbor kids to come and play in our place, which meant I sat outside working under the tree, enjoying as much shade as I could to hide from the sun and the kids. It turned out to be an appropriate place to read this week's passage from Revelation. We're picking off where we left off last time as John tells us of his vision of Jesus. The hair on his head was white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like blazing fire. His feet were like bronze glowing in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of rushing waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars, and coming out of his mouth was a sharp double-edged sword. His face was like the sun shining in all its brilliance. And Jesus' face shone like the sun. As I began to share last time, one of the reasons I appreciate studying Revelation is it provides us an additional depiction of Jesus. Not that the depiction in the Gospels is in any sense wrong, but with the addition of Revelation, perhaps even Hebrew, some of Paul's letters, not to mention the witness of the Old Testament, when we bring these together, we get a full-orbed understanding of Jesus Christ. The different depictions of Christ, if you want to call them that, are not contradictory, but complementary and add to our understanding. Each informs and fills out our understanding of the other. Think about this. Isaiah prophesied of the coming Messiah, that he would have no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised and we held him in low esteem. Post-glorification and exaltation, there's no way John could have looked on blazing-eyed Jesus with low esteem. I think majesty, if we still use that word, would be exactly how we might describe Jesus. In the Gospels, we witness Jesus' power and authority. He commands the storm. Demonic spirits bow before him. In John's Gospel, in chapter 18, in the garden, the chief priest, he sends his officials to arrest Jesus. Jesus went out to confront them. Who are you, he asks. Who are you looking for, he asks. Jesus of Nazareth, they replied. I am he, Jesus responds. Now, with the statement of I am, those who came to arrest him fell to the ground. So we see glimpses of it in the Gospels. It's revealed, apocalypsed, the curtains thrown back in Revelation. Which is why the disciple who Jesus loved, who reclined next to him at the Last Supper, tells us, when I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. Now think about the context. John is in prison. His brother's been martyred, as have Peter and Paul. He knows his days are numbered, and add to this the reports of trials and persecutions experienced by the churches in Asia. Beyond the initial terrifying experience, wouldn't this depiction of Jesus be encouraging? Not gentle Jesus, meek and mild, but the cosmic ruler of all things. I think in our day, as it was in John's, the depiction of Jesus as Lord of all can bring comfort and confidence to step out and step into that which he has called us to do. Being witnesses that we are called to be requires a right understanding of the one who has called us. Fearing not the things of this world, but holding reverential and right fear of the one who created and sustains it. Have a blessed week.